One of the questions that I get a lot is about classroom discussion. Lots of people want their students to be able to respond to polls or text in class, do word clouds and things, but there's a lot of softwares out there to do that, and I mean, there's a lot. I've probably evaluated over 100 of them. And which is the best? I don't think there's a best necessarily, but the one that I really like is Slido. And so today I'm going to show you how you can easily set up Slido for you and your students. So we'll go into Slido, and I already have an account, so I can just go and log in. But if you don't have an account, let's walk through what that account creation would look like. So here we go to Slido, and we can sign up by clicking the green link in the corner. It's going to ask my name. I'm going to use my personal Gmail account. Don't email me here. I don't check it. And then I'll come up with a password. Okay. And then I can just hit create account. And as you can see, that's all it took to set up a Slido account. Name, email, password. So very easy. Initially, you're automatically treated to this Welcome to Slido screen, and you can provide any information that you want there. I don't want to do any of that. The first thing that I want to do is to create an event. So an event is the timeline when you'll be using this. It's the class session. So we'll say this is for Batman 101, class 12. The start date will be this Friday, because why not? The end date will also be this Friday, because basically what the start date and end date are, you can see how event works. The start and end dates are just when people can join and use your thing. So if you're only using it for one day in one class period, the start and end date can be the exact same date. Then you have your event code. By default, it will generate just a 4-digit random event code. You can customize that to an extent. It checks to see if the code is already taken. I've actually already set up an event that day using this code, so it's not going to let anyone else use that. But I can say something like Bat1. There you go, and that one's available. So now I create the event. By default, questions are enabled, and so if you've ever been in a faculty meeting, you know that you can ask all sorts of questions and type random stuff in there and other people can see it. That's great if you want students to be able to talk to each other and have an avenue for broadcasting their thoughts throughout. So you can go ahead and leave that enabled if you want to. If you do not want it, you can go to Settings here in the top right-hand corner by clicking Settings, going over to Features, and this is where you can disable questions. You can also disable polls, but I mean, you have to use it for something. So, if at any time you're confused about what you can and can't do on, if at any time you're confused about what your students might be seeing, you can always pull up participant mode. What participant mode does is it shows you exactly what those students or individuals who are logged into your event will see. So you can see there's no active polls, but they can ask a question, and you can actually try this out by saying, how does this work? And that question will now appear over here. So we'll close that for now, and we're going to go ahead and set up a poll. Your options are up here at the top: audience Q&A, live polls, and analytics. Here's the live polls. With live polls, you have the option of multiple choice, word cloud, quiz, rating, or open text. For the sake of this tutorial, we're just going to talk about these two, but feel free to experiment with these as well. I think they're pretty self-explanatory. They usually walk you through pretty well what you can and can't do. And so we'll just focus on these two most often used ones. So multiple choice, you ask your question. And then you give students options to respond. In this case, true or false. I can also mark that one answer is correct, or I can allow attendees to select multiple options, and I can limit how many options they can respond to. Then I'll save that. Once I've created one, it changes the interface here just a little bit. So you can see down here I have the option to create a poll again, but up here I have my question already. I have the option to lock that, and that will close it and won't allow any students to vote. This is what it looks like when that's closed. Oh, it's not active, so they still won't see it. This deals with the results. Are the results immediately visible as soon as they vote? And then this activates the poll. So if I activate the poll, but the question is locked, you can see they can't respond at all. If I unlock the question, it gives us the ability to respond. And as soon as they've responded, they can see those results. But I can disable the results very easily, and then all they see is that their response has been sent. You can then edit, duplicate, assign a session, view results, and once the results are done, you can see how many people have taken it, and I can hit show results here. And then as long as this is unlocked, they can always edit their response. That's really easy. I can also create a new poll for a word cloud. What is your favorite word? And I'm going to allow them to respond multiple times. We'll save that. So now I want to deactivate this poll, and I want to activate this one. Our participants will immediately see that this poll has been activated. My favorite word is, man, I have so many favorite words. Superfluous. It's not my favorite word, but my nephew asked what it meant the other day. All right, and so right there, they can see the results of the poll. You can see them over here. You can also, again, hide the results, and all they can see are their results. YouTube. Aliquid, because you didn't have to say it had to be in English. That's Latin. All right. So once you've finished with your session, you can close those. And then you can go over to Analytics. Analytics shows you how many users that you had, how many questions were asked, how many polls were voted in, and sort of gives you a breakdown of all of those things right in here. And that's how you use Slido. It's very easy. I think you'll like it.